Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how I made this basket design on this Bubu dress. If this is what you're interested in, please watch to the end of the video. This is the fabric I'll be working with. I'll be working with this 3 yards of Ankara and this plain crepe because the 3 yards won't be enough to make the basket design. So I'm going to use the plain crepe for the design. This is 3 yards of Ankara. So I'm going to start folding my fabric into 4. So I folded the first one. This is the second one. You fold this way. Okay, so after folding this, I'll be getting both the front and back at the same time. So right now I'm going to take my shoulder measurement. Shoulder divided by 2. I'm going to make a mark there. Then from that point, I'm going to get my sleeve length. I'll be making use of this whole fabric here. So 14 inches. So from there now, I'm going to take my round sleeve measurements. My round sleeve divided by 2 give me 12 inches. I'm going to make a mark at 12 inches and plus 1 inches for closing allowance. Then now I'm going to put my tape at this top part to get my half length. I'm going to mark the half length of this. It's just a guide. Then I'm going to mark my hip points here, which I'll be placing at 9.5. Then from there, I'm going to take the hip measurement divided by 4 this way. I'm going to make a mark there. Then I'm going to add extra 4 inches to this. And then after that, I'm going to connect it to my round sleeve this way. Connect it to my round sleeve. Now take it down to the full length of this bubble. Then now I'm going to come over to the shoulder part again. I'm going to mark out the neckline. So I'm going to go in 3 inches. The width is going to be 3 inches for the back. The depth 2 inches. You can make yours wider, but I'm making use of 2 inches by 3 inches. So I'm going to connect it this way. This for the back neck. Then I'm also going to the front depth. I'll be making use of 3.5. I'm going to connect, but I won't be cutting this out on this fabric. It's just to mark it for a guide. So now to determine where the yoke will start from, that's the basket yoke design, where it's going to start from, I'm going to take my tape this way and I'm going to come down by 7 inches. Then I'm going to make a mark at 7 inches. And the basket yoke is going to start from the shoulder line. So I'm going to just connect it straight this way, connect the 7 inches straight this way. Then I'm also going to connect it down from this my shoulder line now. I'm going to connect it this way. So now I'm going to curve this with my curve ruler because this is not going to be this way. It's not going to be in this shape. So and it needs to be curved. So I'm going to place the curve ruler this way and I'm going to curve it. This thing will give me what I want, so I'm going to use my free hand now to shaping it well the way I want it. I don't want it to be too pointy, so when joining I won't have difficulty joining it. So now I'm just going to cut this out. Just watch closely. I'm not cutting out the neckline, so I'm going to cut this out. And that is it. I'm going to make a notch at the shoulder. I'm going to keep this aside. We'll work with it later. So now I'm going to cut out the bubble. So the next thing now is to cut out the sleeve part, the part of the sleeve that will have the basket design, and the measurement I'll be using is 17 inches, but since this fabric is not enough, I'll be making the adjustments in my pattern paper. So now I'm going to mark 10 inches from my shoulder point this way. From this point, I'm going to mark 10 inches and I'm going to take it down. Then I'm going to extend this when transferring this on the pattern paper, when making the basket design like this. Now I'm going to extend it with this. You understand later because I'll be showing you how I'll cut it later. So now I'm going to cut this out. So after cutting this out now, I'm going to keep this top part. I'm going to keep this bubble aside while we work on the yoke, the basket yoke and the sleeve. So now for this yoke, for this design, so I'm going to take my brown paper and I'm going to fold it into four like I did when cutting on my fabric. I'm going to fold into two this way. Then I'll fold again this way. Then I'm going to take this and place it on the brown paper this way, and I'm not going to cut out. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark 1 inches away from the normal yoke I cut out. This is for closing allowance, for the closing allowance, because if I don't do this, when joining is going to short, your material is going to short. So I'm going to mark this 1 inches. Then I'm going to connect this and then I'm going to cut it out. This is for the joining allowance. So now after this, I'm going to transfer the neckline into the brown paper. So first off, I'm going to get my neck measurements. For the back, 3 by 2, the width 3, the depth 2, and I'm going to connect. Then I'm going to take the front depth, which is 3.5, and I'm also going to connect. So after this now, I'm going to cut out the neck line for the back part. After cutting it out, then I'm going to open up this pattern paper to cut out the front. Just watch closely, just making sure that everything is in place. Then now I'll cut out the front neckline. So I'm going to open this up now. The next thing I'm going to do now is to highlight the center front and as well highlight the center back. You know what I mean? I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to highlight the center front this way and highlight the center back as well. After that, I'm also going to highlight the shoulder points. So I'm going to fold it back this way just to get the shoulder, the accurate place I'll be placing the shoulder. So I'm going to So now I'm going to highlight it. The next thing now is to mark out the lines for the design, and I'm going to space this by 2 inches. I'm going to start marking out the horizontal lines first. That's from the shoulder side. I'm going to space it now by 2 inches just this way. And I'm going to start. So I'm going to rule. You can decide to do 1.5 for yours, but I'm making use of 2 inches for this. I'm just going to continue this way. After I'm done with this side, I'm going to turn it over this way to rule this other side, maintaining the same 2 inches. Okay, after I'm done marking, this is what it looks like. When you fold it this way, you see, this is the front, this is the back. So this is the crepe I'll be making use of. And now this is the sleeve. Like I mentioned earlier, the fabric wasn't long enough for the sleeve, so with the pattern paper, I extended the sleeve length. Because the original sleeve length I was working with was 17 inches, not 14 inches. So I just did the extension on the brown paper. So I'm going to repeat this same marking I did for the yoke. I'm also going to repeat the same marking for this sleeve. Okay, I'm done doing the same marking. It's basically the same thing. The next thing is to cut the bias strips that I'll be using to run on these markings I did for the design. So I'm going to cut out 2 inches from this crepe. 2 inches. And I'm going to cut this out. You can do as much as possible. You can cut out as much as you can. Okay, so this is it. The next thing is to take this to the sewing machine and show you how I'll be stitching on this on the brown paper. Okay, so I'm going to take this material this way. I'm going to fold in one part, fold this other part, fold the first one, the second one, then I will now fold this way. This is much easier than turning it round then fixing it. Then I'm going to start stitching this way. You need to be careful so the rough edges doesn't come out. Push it in this way, then push the other one in, then you lay it flat, then you sew. Just have to be careful with this. When I'm done with this, I'm going to repeat this. I'll repeat this for this other side. I'm going to repeat it for each line. Fold in, place, and then you sew. Then I'm going to repeat this for this other line. After I'm done doing this, then I'm going to also turn it over this way and repeat this for this other side. You fold in this way, fold another one, then you fold. I'm going to repeat this till the last line. I'm going to do all this off camera, then I'll bring you back. Okay, so this is it. I'm done. And if you notice at this back side, this is the back side. Look at it. This is the front. At this back, at this center back, I didn't run any bias on this, so I'm going to open this up because I'll be piping it. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to pipe it, and before I'll do that, I'm going to trim out all these excesses here. So now I'm going to take this, put it behind this way, just like what I'm doing. Put it behind, and then I'm going to sew it round. And I have also gone ahead to do the same thing for the sleeve. You just follow the lines and run the bias on them. I'm also going to take the bias and also hem the tip of the sleeve this way. So now I'm going to take this to the machine. Take this, you place it behind. I'm going to place it behind this way, and I'm going to sew. You need to be really mindful of this part, because if you don't get it right, your bias will not sit well. You fold in, and while doing this, make sure that the pattern paper doesn't tear. So I'm going to sew this round this way to the end. Okay, after I'm done with that, I'm going to take this part now. I'll turn it over this way and fold it in. Let's go over it again. I'll take this part, turn it over, fold it in this way, and then place it back like this, and then sew. I'm going to do this round. Okay, I'm done stitching. This is what it looks like. You can decide to iron this neck part out. It's looking a little bit rough, but when you iron it out, it will sit well. I went ahead to make this tiny rope that I'll be using. I'll be attaching this to the back part this way. This will hold the button I'll be putting later on this. I'm going to attach it. And that's it. The next thing now is to fix this on the Bubu. So let's fix this. I also went ahead to close down the sleeve, the hem of the sleeve, like I mentioned earlier. I've also gone ahead to close it. So now let's fix the yoke on the Bubu. I'm going to open the Bubu up. I opened it up. And I went ahead to make a notch. I made the notch at the middle part this way, and as well made a notch at the shoulder area. So I'm going to open this up now wide. This is the front part. So now I'm going to bring the yoke and I'll be placing it like this. Make sure the front of your fabric, you're placing it at the front of your fabric this way, not the back. So I'm going to flip it over this way. The front meets front. Let's go over it again. This is the mid part of the front, and that's the part I notched. So I'm going to flip it over this way, front meet front. I'll be placing it like this, and I'm going to take my needle to just hold it down this way. You can just do this round. This is what I'll be doing. I'll take this sewing machine now and do this. Okay, so this is it. I'm done. I'm gonna head to fix it. And make sure you fix this before removing the papers. This is what it looks like. This is the back. And I also went ahead to join the sleeve as well. As you can see, I didn't remove the paper. The next thing now, I'm going to close this up. So I'll take this to the sewing machine now and close this up before removing the paper. Okay, I'm done. So it's time to remove the paper. This actually comes up easily. I'm going to remove all this. You just take your time. And I'm done. And this is what it looks like. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, do well to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. See you in the next one. Bye.